Allergies care for a man with an amputated arm allows him to get back to work for his family. Taiwan annually sees about 200 people suffer from severe drug allergies each year, leading to serious injury. I'm Sean Scanlan. This is DaAi Headlines. A care recipient in Indonesia lost his right arm in a work accident 2 years ago. He was desperate at first and unable to work, but thanks to Tzu Chi volunteers' continued care for him, he has regained his confidence and wanted to get back to work. He recently purchased a vehicle and is now able to work as delivery staff to make money for his family.
Kamani is whipping his motorcycle, which is his money-making tool, carefully with a towel. Yet a closer look revealed that he actually has one arm only. His right arm was amputated 2 years ago because of getting an electric shock by an optical cable.
Disabilitas ini biar bisa bekerja apa gitu, ngapain
After the accident, I felt desperate, but I needed to support my family. I could not stop working, so I tried to find some inspiring messages and jobs suitable for our disabled people online.
Kamani was the breadwinner of the family. After his injury, the financial burden of the family fell on his wife's shoulders. Yet he did not give up any opportunity to make money. Now he works as an online delivery staff to relieve his wife's pressures.
Before the accident happened, he was working very hard. Now, although he has only one arm, he did not give up himself. He still works hard for the family and our children. I'm proud of him.
Now I can work to subsidize my family. Although the amount is not much, but at least I can relieve some of my wife's burden. I can pay for the children's transportation expenses and some miscellaneous living expenses. I'm very grateful to have the present lifestyle.
Apart from learning to be self-reliant, Kamani also grabs the opportunity of receiving living allowances every month to interact with Tzu Chi volunteers. With their encouragement, Kamani gives himself greater expectations.
Saya ngambil motivasinya. Nggak melulu bantuan, nggak seperti itu. Jadi memang gimana sih biar ada arahannya dari Tzu Chi kemana.
The Tzu Chi New Jersey chapter regularly hosts a food distribution for low-income families every Friday. But as the flu and coronavirus are quickly spreading around the world, volunteers are exercising more caution and altered their distribution procedure. In the past, recipients were invited to pick out the items that they wanted. Now volunteers have streamlined the process by systematically giving out the same items to each family to decrease face-to-face contact.
At the food bank, New Jersey volunteers prepare the food items for the care recipients. But this distribution is a little different from past events.
Today, we are passing out the items to the recipients, not like before where they could pick and choose what they need.
Due to the flu and novel coronavirus, we have changed the procedure to minimize face-to-face contact to help reduce the possible spread of germs and bacteria.
To avoid the spread of the virus, Tzu Chi New Jersey chapter changed the distribution process, but remaining the same is promoting the plant-based diet.
We have constantly emphasized vegetarianism to our care recipients. This plant-based diet helps to increase their immune system and, of course, lung killing, which is best to avoid.
After packing up all the items, volunteers greet the care recipients with hand sanitizers and alcohol spray to reinforce a germ-free area. A team doctor was ready with a health message for everyone.
Best way to protect yourself and your families is number one, wash your hands frequently and drink enough water, eliminate meat and eat vegetables and fruit. Maintain your high immune system. Wear masks when it's necessary. And if you suspect that you may have symptoms, please go to see a doctor.
This friendly reminder was also given in Spanish.
I think this is the education that we have been delivering because we want to, give them healthy food and try to, care for the family, not only, the people who come to pick up food, but also, we want them to know that we care about the community, friends, and families.
2078.
In dealing with the flu season and the outbreak of the novel coronavirus, doctors' professional recommendation is to stay alert but not panic.
When everyone rushed to buy masks and alcohol, a group of people donated these materials selflessly. Volunteers at the Yunlin Dolio recycling station brought the alcohol, disinfectant, masks, and infrared thermometer from home to the station to ensure volunteers could do recycling safely during the epidemic prevention period.
People don't go out during the epidemic prevention period. The recyclables at the recycling station pile up as high as a hill. Volunteers are busy sorting recyclables. Even the kindergarteners help to sort PET bottles.
We cannot stop this action. I don't mind getting dirty. I will go back home to clean after. If everyone is afraid of getting dirty, then no one will do recycling.
Master Zheng Yan reminds us not to stop recycling. The most important thing is that volunteers need to protect themselves.
While everyone is rushing to buy alcohol and masks, the volunteers here take out their epidemic prevention materials from home.
One of the Tzu Chi sisters takes out 60 bottles of alcohol and share to all brothers and sisters at the recycling station. We also take out the alcohol spray from home and the thermometers.
The disinfection materials gathered allow the cleaning process after recycling more thorough. The selfless power has made a strong protective net for the Liu recycling station.
The coronavirus has little conclusive scientific data about how long the virus stays alive or what type of environment it thrives in. Despite progress on the scientific front, there have recently been a flood of wild rumors about how to kill it on the internet. This includes drinking very hot water to having a warm environment. What is this true and what is false? In our next report, we see what doctors have to say.
Drinking water is good for you no matter if one is sick or not. Doctors always recommend drinking water to stay hydrated, which promotes body's metabolism. However, can drinking water combat the novel coronavirus? The internet is circulating information about how drinking hot water can kill bacteria.
Drinking water, I believe, can help to rid the body of toxins, so I think it helps.
Usually, to have sanitizing properties, the temperatures are extremely high. If you want to drink hot water to kill bacteria, you will injure your mucous membrane first.
Drinking water which is 50 or 60 degrees does not kill off bacteria. It will only cause injury. Moreover, people are saying the virus cannot thrive in the heat, so keeping the room warm is helpful.
If you want to reach sanitizing temperature, it needs to be near 100 degrees Celsius or above, which is not something the human body can withstand.
As there is no current research evidence backing up where the novel coronavirus lives in, temperature seems not to play a factor. Thus, it is best to continue safeguarding your health by frequently washing hands to keep germs at bay.
When people see a doctor, the medical staff will almost always ask if you have a drug allergy. When we answer no, this is probably because no prior history. According to a survey, at least 200 people in Taiwan each year have serious complications due to medication, with a mortality rate of 40%. Even if they survive, more than 10% of patients lose their vision or suffer organ damage.
88年的住院期间，就每天的记录感冒，所以我就吃了。
I caught a cold and ended up taking the medicine prescribed by the doctor. After I came home, I took off my clothes and saw all these rashes on me.
Taking a medicine for a cold turned out to be erythema. But But the doctor did not diagnose that Mr. Zhu was serious allergy to the drug, so he continued to take the drug until his condition worsened.
At that time, my cousin was the head nurse at Veterans General Hospital, and when she saw me, she recognized it as Stevens-Johnson syndrome, and the ICU director learned my illness was due to medication.
Stevens-Johnson syndrome is a drug allergy that is not familiar to many medical staff. He stopped his medication immediately. It had caused irreparable harm. In the intensive care unit, he escaped death several times. After testing, Mr. Zhu was identified with 2 genes that could be related to this disease. One was an allergy to uric acid-lowering drugs, and the other who was an allergy to anti-epileptic drugs. People with severe drug allergies are not the only patients with Stevens-Johnson syndrome, as it can happen to everyone.
It's not Stevens-Johnson syndrome, but also other drug damage is quite serious, such as lesions on liver and kidney because the patient had an allergy. This will damage liver and kidney function later, so we sometimes call it drug allergy syndrome.
There are 3 kinds of severe allergic reactions caused by drugs. The first 2 are toxic epidermal necrosis and Stevens-Johnson syndrome. The patient's skin and mucous membranes ulcerate, and the eyes and organs are damaged. The former mortality rate is 40 to 50%, the latter 5 to 10%, though they have similar symptoms. The third type is toxic epidermal necrosis. In addition to a widespread skin rash, there is fever, lymphadenopathy, inflammation of the liver, kidney, lungs, and myocardium with a mortality rate of 10%.
Yellow races, especially Chinese people, will have a higher incidence of severe harm from medicines when compared to people from European and American countries.
The top 10 suspicious drugs for Chinese people with severe drug allergies are uric acid-lowering drugs, anti-epileptic medication, tuberculosis, non-steroidal painkillers, and anti-inflammatory drugs and antibiotics. The problem is that there may be many problems with these drugs in Taiwan, but at the time of prescribing, doctors can only test for problems with the top 3 drugs through a patient's blood test. This means that other 7 drug allergies cannot be screened beforehand.
Many medicines may have serious adverse reactions, so we usually avoid very serious adverse reactions from the beginning by giving a lower dose to the patient.
However, there are some drugs that have a certain type of adverse reaction. It may take 2 months or 3 months to find drug side effects.
Serious toxic effects from medication may be delayed. Ms. Wong took an anti-epileptic drug 6 years ago, and allergic effects began to appear after more than 10 days.
After taking the medicine, I had a high fever. I thought it was just a common cold. I saw a doctor 3 times, and the diagnosis was a common cold or tonsillitis. It was misdiagnosed from the clinic and misdiagnosed at the regional hospital.
Epilepsy drugs or uric acid-lowering drugs run a serious drug allergy risk. It is much lower for Americans and Europeans, so it can be said that it is more than 10 times or even more than 20 times the risk for Asians. These allergy tests conducted overseas on medicine used in Taiwan are not necessarily safe for Chinese people.
Drugs made in Europe and the United States may not be completely safe for Asians. As a result, from clinics to large hospitals, all the symptoms of discomfort felt by Ms. Wong were overlooked. Allergies from this anti-epileptic drug led to continuous treatment, with 99% of the skin on her body ulcerated and dying.
So I had kidney failure and septicemia at the time, and there were many other organ failure problems.
Eventually, her right eye was left blind, and her left eye had vision of 0.1. The whole body was damaged. As a result, her physical strength was not as good as before, making her unable to work as she spent a long time recuperating at home.
Before I got sick, I didn't know that drug allergies would be so serious. Generally, people's perception of allergies is that it's not so serious. It would be okay to have itchy skin and then an injection, but I didn't expect serious complications and even death.
For us, it's just one more patient, but for them, it's their whole life, and everything in color can change to black and white.
Drug allergies, the sooner they are discovered, the damage, such as sequelae, can be greatly reduced. Early symptoms include skin rashes, blisters, or itching and swelling of the lips, sore throat, and difficulty swallowing. May include mouth ulcers accompanied by eye irritation and burning feeling and fever.
If there are some symptoms, you need to seek medical treatment early, or the doctor may need to be particularly alert to recognize these symptoms when seeing the doctor. It may be an early symptom.
As long as one is more alert about complications associated with medication, one can avoid the harm from such allergic reactions. Don't underestimate a small pill, because it can both cure disease and can be deadly for those that are allergic. At a Tzu Chi recycling station in Selangor, Malaysia, volunteers hosted a vegetarian food promotion event. The activity was intended to teach participants how to do delicious vegetarian dishes. Volunteers also told the audience about the benefits of such a diet.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Selangor and Kuala Lumpur promote vegetarian food by teaching people how to make vegetarian cuisines at a recycling station.
I've made some pastries for the brothers and sisters, and they all supported me to teach a class because they like it a lot. So I thought if they really want to learn, then I would teach.
The simple vegetarian dishes were very easy to learn. A volunteer shared his story to encourage more to become vegetarian.
When I was young, my brothers, they are selling bakut there. However, I found that vegetarian food is very healthy, so I started to make vegetarian bakut there. Today, I'm here to demonstrate how to make vegetarian dishes and hope that everyone can be healthier and happier after eating vegetarian diets.
It's a nice event to teach us with patience. We've also learned a lot because we don't know how to cook vegetarian cuisine.
Vegetarian food can be delicious and also very nutritious. Volunteers wish to invite more to adopt a healthy diet through this event.
Tzu Chi Malaysia chapter held a Lunar New Year ceremony for dialysis patients and their families. This allowed everyone the opportunity to enjoy festivities as part of the big Tzu Chi family.
This is Tang Yan's personal performance, but he shows no fear even though he is so young. He brings the celebration to its highest point.
I believe they will become happy after watching it. I came to do the lion dance for the patients from the dialysis center.
The Jinsu Hall is full of festive activity. There are volunteers teaching the making of paper flowers, Chinese nuts, Lunar New Year cards, among other things. Tzu Chi really appreciates the sense of reunion.
It's hustling and bustling here, and I learn a lot of things. I am always happy when I come every time, because I can also meet new friends.
Tzu Chi volunteers introducing food products to the dialysis patients, and also the spirit of no work, no meal that is practiced by the masters at the Jinsu abode.
They're very happy to live here. We are happy that there isn't any disaster because some areas have disasters and the people there don't know what to do.
People hold a light in their hands and pray for everyone's safety and world peace.
In response to the coronavirus epidemic, Master Zheng Yan continued to call on everyone to be pious and embrace vegetarianism so as to pray for a peaceful world together. Tzu Chi liaison offices in various countries and regions also hosted daily prayers. Let's see how volunteers gathered good thoughts in Malaysia and Vietnam.
This group of people who rose up early in the morning includes 7-year-old Li Pei Chung. She puts her palms together with a sincere thought.
She asked me yesterday if I was late. I smiled and I replied her, yes, I was late, so I could only hear the later half of the Dharma teaching. My daughter really likes to listen to the Dharma teachings.
From when she was 3 years old, the little child liked to follow her mother to Tzu Chi Vietnam liaison office to listen to the Dharma teachings. She wears headphones throughout the process and learns the Dharma through translations.
My daughter told me that she wanted to be a good girl. Master Zheng Yan told us to protect the planet, so we should not hurt any trees and plants, and also should not lie.
Tzu Chi volunteers all over the world pray together for the epidemic. Malaysian volunteers also gather at Patu Pahat liaison office to pray. Members in the community are invited to pray together. Tzu Chi internal meetings also start with the prayer song, hoping that the renaissance of goodness makes everything in the world live in harmony.
The outbreak of coronavirus has the world on edge, and in Pingdong, Taiwan, a blessing ceremony was hosted by both Tzu Chi Foundation and the local government. The goal was to spread positive health messages and comfort the hearts in this time of uncertainty.
Everyone who enters is asked to wear a mask and their temperature measured. Here at the Tzu Chi Pingdong chapter, there are no worries about the virus, just a venue filled with positivity.
Even though it's a huge disaster, we need to listen to the master's teachings. The master says we need to steady our hearts.
Everyone is here to attend the blessing ceremony hosted by Tzu Chi and the local county governments. The sutra adaptation performance shares the life story of the Buddha, while those in the audience pray sincerely to combat the novel coronavirus.
No matter which country in the world, everyone is worried, so we are here to expand the love we were spreading to Pingdong to the world instead. We pray to the Buddha for the stop to the global virus.
Originally just a blessing ceremony for the county of Pingdong, this event is now sending blessings to the world in hopes these prayers and the right health information help put an end to the outbreak.
21 students and recent graduates of Sunway University visited a Tzu Chi recycling station to learn about environmental protection. They also sorted recyclables on site. They pledged to start doing recycling in daily life so they too can protect their homes.
We are the youth of the future. Go recycling!
21 students visit a Tzu Chi recycling station in Bukit Jerongdong, Shah Alam, Malaysia to learn about recycling.
They didn't realize for just one meal, they would create so much garbage just by going out to buy it and take it back. However, when they realize it, they will become influential because they would turn this realization into action and change their daily lives.
I will encourage my colleagues to do recycling together. It has nothing to do with our ethnicities. We must do recycling together because the earth belongs to us humans.
Yeah, I did learn that not all plastic are the same. So there is a plastic that cannot be recycled and there is a plastic that can be recycled. So I think it's important to have a good environment for all these things. Like if we left it out, I think it will be a disaster in the next years, in the future. It will become like more global warming.
We must do recycling every day. We don't have to spend a long time doing it, but we just do it every day. After a while, it will accumulate and achieve a good result.
If we do recycling every day, we can reduce pollution in the environment. With young people also should do recycling so the earth will become a better living environment.
The superintendent of the Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital, Chen Shouxing, accompanied volunteers to care for the poor in the community, including cleaning their homes. We will leave you with these images. Goodbye. Thank you.